Good Friday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Friday. Starting off, what is going on throughout the entire state? Well, right now, we're not looking for any sort of rainfall right now, but if we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do have some rainfall going on throughout parts of the southeast, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. We have some rainfall also inside of parts of southern Louisiana. Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee. A lot of these areas getting in on some rainfall, even going up into South Dakota, North Dakota, and then some more rainfall over here in the west. Not really seeing too much in terms of snowfall, but rainfall is definitely going on. Now, what's going on in terms of our cloud cover? Cloud cover, we do have a good amount. Upstate, Midlands, Low Country. I mean, every area right now is having some sort of cloud cover activity. How long is it lasting? Well, obviously, we'll get to that in just a second, but for right now, cloud cover seems to be the more dominating factor, even though there are some areas where it is pretty clear. Cloud cover for the future, as we go on and push this forward, cloud cover seems to want to try and get back to being like super dominant to where it's showing everybody inside of cloud cover. That goes all the way through into tonight, going into around 12 o'clock in the morning or so to where it's still cloudy. Now, in terms of our current temperatures right now, we're talking about 78 Somerville, Charleston, 78 Beaufort, 77 Orangeburg, 76 in Sumter, as well as Columbia, 78 Myrtle Beach, 77 in Conway, 75 inside of Hartsville, in 74 in Lancaster, 72 Rock Hill and Greenville. Now for our air quality for today, I should say, we're looking at a moderate risk of that air quality. So not the worst, not good, but not really too unhealthy. So just make sure that if you're in the yellow areas, low country, Midlands, PD, upstate areas, that you're watching out for this air quality right here. But then as we move on to our high temperatures, we're talking about 82 in Greenville, 83 Spartanburg, 85 Rock Hill, 88 Columbia, 87 in Sumter, as well as 88 in Kingstree, Moncks Corner, 85 in Charleston, Georgetown, 81 in Myrtle Beach, and 85 in Hilton Head Island. Now for our wind is honestly looking kind of calm. I mean, you see around 5 to 10 miles an hour inland. Then near the coastal areas, you're talking about 10 to 20 sustained, and then wind gust going to be all the way from around 10 to 20 miles per hour today, maybe even up to around 25. Now for our total precipitation amount, honestly, you see more of those higher totals going on towards the western areas, especially the western low country, and that's where we desperately need the rainfall. As you know, the drought monitor right now, it's primarily inside of that western low country area. And so if that's where we're going to get the most amount of rain, hopefully it is, because that's where we need it for sure. Other areas that desperately need it, though, like areas in Moncks Corner, Columbia still needs some, Sumter, we all still need the rainfall. But it's the low country definitely needs it the most right now. And honestly, towards those eastern portions, like in Moncks Corner, you only see around a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch. Not a good amount. Now, if we go and take a look at the SPC outlook for today, thunderstorms are possible on the western side of the state where that rainfall is possible. Fire weather, nothing here. Excessive rainfall, we do have a risk of excessive rainfall. So with that beneficial rainfall comes the potential for flash flooding, and you can see it over here in the western parts near Still, and over just to the west of Ridgeland, Furman, and in Scotia as well. So if you're in this yellow area, you are inside of the slight risk of excessive rainfall. But if we look out towards the marginal risk, and that goes all the way from the upstate down to the low country, towards the coastal areas over here on the western side, that's isolated flash flooding. So make sure that you're aware for that as well, and have your flash flood plans in place. Now for the crazy score, we're out of 45. We're inside the moderate category. Noticeable weather conditions such as moderate rain, minor storms, potentially even some heavy rain at times, and honestly, that's what's going on. So let's go on now and take a look at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Make sure that you go in and pay attention to that. Start off here at around 9 o'clock in the morning. You go in and push this forward, and what do you see? Good amount of rainfall down there on the southern part, in like the low country during the afternoon. But then as you get more and more into around 6 o'clock p.m., going all the way to around 8 o'clock p.m., you see more thunderstorm activity going on in the southern Midlands. And then you also see some in the upstate, some more rainfall up here. So, rainfall for the most part doesn't really try to get going. And look at like 12 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Saturday, it's going to be a pretty active rain morning for sure. But In terms of just today for Friday, looks very confined towards like the low country and the southern Midlands to where those storms are possible. And obviously, I'm not going to be here for the majority of the weekend. So if you just continue this all the way through Saturday, Saturday looks really active, especially in terms of thunderstorm activity on Saturday, and continues all the way through into the nighttime hours on Saturday. So a lot of activity going on, especially tomorrow. But for today, a lot of that activity really is inside the Midlands and the Low Country until you get to this evening to where you may start to see it start to spread a little bit. But that's all they have to say for today. So make sure, like I said, if you've not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. Also, hit the subscribe button. We had a huge night last night. Huge night last night. Be a part of it. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're at 744, trying to get to that main goal of 800. We are right now 56. Yes, 56 away from that main goal. Let's go and get there. Remember, I will not be here going into tonight. I will not be here tomorrow morning. I will not be here tomorrow evening. And I will not be here potentially. Well, I won't be here Sunday morning, but potentially even Sunday evening. It just matters on what happens right now. We don't know. So we're going to have to wait. But stay posted in the community section. I will be posting there, whenever I will be back. So make sure that you're paying attention there. That's all. Make sure you hit those two buttons before you leave, and everyone have a fantastic rest of your weekend.